Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are continuing talking about some prime and composite numbers, but I'm also going to tell you a little bit about the precise word called multiples. Back in third grade, you learned about skip counting, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. In fourth grade, we call it multiples, listing those multiples of a number. So we're going to focus a little bit on that today. Don't forget, today there is a new math calendar that you can find in the homework folder. Let's get started with a review question. So if you want to read this over, remembering to make roadblocks along the way and underlining the question, and then check back with me to see if you did this correctly. Go ahead and pause your video. All right, hopefully when you were solving this, you realized that our equation, or what we were solving for, was that we had 23,654 leaves, and my neighbor raked 10 times more than me. Beginning of the year, we learned that 10 times more means it's getting bigger by one place value. If it's getting bigger, we'd move to the left. So what I did to show my work was I showed a place value chart and how each and every digit moved one to the left, giving me a total of 236,540 leaves. For my variable, I chose L because we were solving for leaves. Okay? Nice job, guys. Let's keep moving. So we talked about last week prime and composite. When we're doing prime, remember my friend Miss Wood showed me we could just simply do one. We could turn the I and me, one and me. And composite has more than those two factors. So what I like to do is I like to skip count or list my multiples to try to come up with them. So for example, the number 7. Well, obviously we know that if we multiply 1 times 7, it's equal 7. Then I go to my next number, which is 2, and I skip count. 2, 4, 6, 8. Ooh, too big. So I go to my next number, which is 3. 3, 6, 9. Too big. I go to 4, 4, 8. Too big. And I stop at my 5s. 5, 10. Too big. I could only come up with 2 factors. Because I could only come up with 2 factors, they were 1 and me. I know the number 7 is prime. I want you to pause your video and try to come up with the factor pairs for the number 12. Remember, we use our strategy of skip counting or listing our multiples. Go for it. Pause your video and then check back with me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when I listed mine, I came up with technically 3 factor pairs or 6 factors that I could get. Therefore, I know it's a composite number. Okay, great job. What I want you to do is I want you to just turn and talk. What is a factor? What is a factor? If you're at home, I just want you to brainstorm in your head. What is a factor? Hopefully you said something like a factor is a number that divides into another number exactly with no remainders. So remember when I was counting and I said, oh, too much, that means if I was going to divide it up, it wouldn't be even. There'd be some left over. There would be a remainder. So a factor divides exactly. So what we're going to do today is we're going to list our factors, and you're going to notice that the numbers we're trying to list the factor for are a little larger, so it may take a minute or two. Now, if you know how to multiply in your head, this is probably a little easier. If not, we may be sitting here skip counting a little bit or listing those multiples. Skip counting and multiples, same thing. So it says, is 2 a factor of 84? Which means I'm trying to see if I had the number 84, could I divide it equally by 2? Can I take it by 2 into groups of 2? Now, I haven't taught you this strategy yet, so what we're going to do is we're going to skip count. So we're going to skip count by our 2's. Pause your video, simply list your multiples or your skip counting by 2 to get to 84. If it goes in evenly, then yes, 2 is a factor of 84. If it does not go in evenly, then it's not. Pause your video and try it out. Awesome. Hopefully when you did this, you saw that yes, 2 is a factor of 84. I listed all my multiples of 2 up to the number 84. And it was, yeah, 2 times 42 is 84. I knew this because I counted up how many times I counted by 2's to get to 84. So yes, 2 is a factor of 84. Let's try this one. Is 5 a factor of 83? So again, we're going to list our factors. We're going to list our multiples of 5, trying to see if 83 is one of them. So for example, I'm simply going to just list 5, 10, I'm going to put my commas so they don't look like one big number, 15, 20, and I'm going to go all the way up to see if I can get to 83. Pause your video and try this. All right, friends, I did it and I went too low or I went too high. 83, 5 is not a factor of 83. So my answer is no, okay? Today I'm going to show you this property. It's called the associative property. What it means is it doesn't matter if you follow the parentheses or if you solve the problem out of order, it's going to give you the same product, the same answer. So let me show you. Our equation says 12 times 2 equals 24. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to break apart something times 3 equals 12. Or you could do the inverse and divide. 12 divided by 3 equals what? Hopefully in your head you're saying 4, Mrs. Andrews. And then if we solved 4 times 3 equals 12 times 2, it's just showing a different way to do it. We could also do 3 times 2, which equals 6, and then 6 times something equals 24. Again, it's 4. And then we can also show that 4 times 6 equals 24. So you can see these different ways that we can multiply to get to 24, noticing how we solved it differently all 4 times. And 24 equals 24. Remember, the point of the equal sign is that it's balanced. On one side and the other side, they're both the same. If not, it would not be equal if they weren't balanced. I want you to try this one on your own. If you need to refer to the slide we just did, go for it. We found the product of 30. Something times 5 equals 30. So you'll kind of have to divide. 30 divided by 5 is what? So you could do your fair sharing, like break it up into 5 groups. Maybe you know your math facts. Maybe you can look here at the bottom to see. Pause your video and try it, and then we'll check back to see. So 6 times 5 was 30. Because we were dealing with 5s, I would have suggested for you to count by 5s to see. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and you could have seen, and then breaking it apart into equal groups. When we get down and we see the equation, you can easily see that 30 is equal to 30. All right? So guys, today we learned a few things. We reviewed prime and composite, and we also talked about multiples. Multiples is a more intelligent way of saying skip counting. In your exit ticket, you'll do these same things we did in class. Feel free to pause doing your exit ticket and go back, rewatch the video, or look over the slides, okay? You can find your exit ticket on Schoology. Remember, take your time, show your work, and good luck. Don't forget to download the new homework too.